So, in this session, we will be talking about Python's list comprehension. What is list comprehension? A list comprehension is a concise way of creating a list, using existing data, for example. Okay? So, it's a sweet and short way of manipulating problems or solving a problem. Sorry, let me give an example. So I'll get into my Jupyter notebook. Look at this. So I'll just create first a list. Okay, let me call the list as nums is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a list. Okay, if we say print type of nums, you will get list as the answer. You can see a class list. So the name of the class is list. Okay, now the conventional way of creating a new list out of this list, where I want to create squares of every number. See, I have got nums as a list. I want to square every number within the list. So conventionally, without list comprehension, how do we do it? So look at this. So what I'll do, result is equal to, I'll create an empty list. Then I'll use a for basically it's an iterator for x in nums, colon, enter. Okay, so for x in nums means from nums every value will be taken or iterated and it will be kept on x. It will be kept on x. So x will have 1, then 2, then 3 like that. Okay, until 5. So for every x, what we should do? We should square it. So I'll just say res dot append x star x, x star x, x star x. That means what? I want to square every x which is in nums list and square it and append into res. So look at this. I'll just print res. You can see 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. Okay. So this is how conventionally we do it without list comprehension. Keep this in mind. Now what I'll do, instead of this, I will just go here. I'll comment everything. I'll comment it out. Now what I'll do, I'll just take another approach that's called list comprehension. Look at this. Okay, I'll just give a markdown here. So you see, list comprehension. Control enter. So it's a markdown which does not get executed. So here what I'll do, I'll use the sweet and short way of list comprehension to create the square of numbers. So I'll just keep the same variable res is equal to, I'll put one square bracket. Within square bracket, what I can do, for every x of nums, x in nums, for x in nums, I want x star x. That's it. Look at this. Okay, I'll just print again this list. Okay, now see, for every x in nums, I want square of x to be added into the list called res. So it will start with an empty list and will keep on adding square of every number. Look at this. Same answer I got. Look at this. If you want, I'll just change the data and show you. I'll just make it, a comma 10, comma 20. So that's okay list. Now I'll just come down here so that, we know that new code is in effect actually. Look at this. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 10 square and 20 square. Because they are the values. 10 and 20. Look at this. Right? So this is called list comprehension. Sweet and concise way of creating a new list from existing data. Right? So the list comprehension can be used in some other way also. For example, you see, I can enlarge the problem into a bigger one where I want to create a dynamic random list using again list comprehension, and I'll apply some data on it. Okay, so first what I'll do, I'll just say let us call my vals or vals is equal to, I'm going to create a set of random numbers using list comprehension. Okay, so how do I create? So first let me just import that random package. Import random. Control enter so that the package is available to the subsequent cells. Here I'll just call random dot rand int, rand int. So rand int means what? I want to generate a random number between any range. So between 100 to 200. Okay, how many times? How many values you want to generate for x in range? Okay, so let us call 1 comma 21. 1 comma 20. That means 1 to 20. So this for loop will iterate from 1 to 20. Every time it iterates, it generates a new random number between 10 and 100, and that random number is getting added into vals. So vals will be a list of 20 random numbers between the range of 100 to 200. Look at this. I'll just say print vals. Look at this. Yeah, you can just see that. See 104, 143, 171, all are within 100 to 200. Fine. So 20 values are there. Okay, 20 values are created here. Okay. Now, so this is how you use again list comprehension. So when you say list comprehension, there should be a square bracket opening, closing. Then this is the action you want to take. This is the action you want to take. What is the net result? In the previous case, now we squared. Okay, look at this. See x square. In the same way, I want random.rand int of 100 to 100. So that's a net result. Sorry, net value. Okay, and how many times? So here it is, we are iterating an existing list, but here we are iterating on a range of values. That's all. Range of 1 to 21 means 20 times. 20 times. If you give 1 to 11, you'll get 10 values. Look at this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 different values. So not 10 different values. 10 random integers between 100 to 200. Right? So this is how you use list comprehension in a concise way to create a set of values. Now what I can do, once the values are created, I want to again apply list comprehension to pick out only values which are divisible by or odd numbers or even numbers. How can I do it? So I'll just say odd vals is equal to, I'll use list comprehension again. So what should I do? I want something like here when you say odd, no, you need to have some condition. So what I'll do, I'll just say for x in vals. Okay, I want to select x if I can use if condition. If x odd 2 is not equal to 0. Okay, not equal to 0. That means what? See, choose value x if x mod 2 is not equal to 0. Okay, and again now this will create a list of values where all the values will be odd values. Okay, and it will create a list called odd vals. Look at this. Print. Let us try it. Oh, some problem here. So I'll do one thing. For x in vals, I should select x here. For x in val, that's it. Yes. Yeah. See, this should be the resulting value for x in vals if x mod 2 is not equal to 0. I think we'll definitely get it. Look at this. See, out of this, 102, 170 is even, 101, 137 is odd, 133 is odd, 129 is odd, then 129 is odd. So we got, the numbers which are odd. So how do you frame it? How do you frame list comprehension? See, put a square bracket, then this is a end result, the value which you want. For x in vals, that means you iterate over the list, existing list called vals. Existing list is nothing but this list. If x mod 2, that means every value should not be divisible by 2. Okay, x mod 2 is not equal to 0. That means odd numbers. So you will get only those values, those x, which satisfy this condition. Those x values which satisfy this condition from this existing list will be added into a new list called odd vals. Odd vals. Fine. Now from here I can create an even list. How can I create? I can just say even vals is equal to, same way, just copy something here. Look at this. X for x in, I'll just say vals if x not in odd vals. That means what? See, you pick, you iterate on the vals list. That means pick one by one and you choose those x, if x not in odd vals. That means the values which are not in odd vals list, no, those values only will be picked out from the vals. So odd vals already contains odd numbers. So it will pick out only values which are not in odd vals, means even numbers will be filtered and stored in even vals. Look at this. I'll just go here, print. Look at this. We got, look at this. See, 101, 133, sorry, 137, 133 are odd. 170, 130, 184, 146, 106 are even. So list comprehension is the best way of, okay, filtering the values, or manipulating some values from the existing sequence. Why I say sequence? No, it's not only for list, it can be applied to strings also. If for example you see, I have a string, my string is equal to, I just put some random, okay, look at this, random characters are there. Okay, so what I want to do, so I can, let me do one thing. Yeah, it can be anything, so it doesn't matter. Okay, just type something. Okay, so I want those values, which are, of course, we call it as, consonants and, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, those values. Okay, so those, I want to filter only those characters which are within A, E, I, O, U, or consonants. Okay, those values I want to filter out. So how can I do it? So what I'll just say, my string, so let us call, so see, values which are A, E, I, O, U. Okay, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, vowels, it's called vowels. So let me go here, vowels is equal to, okay, x, for x in mystr, if, okay, x in, if x in A, E, I, O, U. Okay, fine. So you see, print vowels. Okay, see, that means this is an entire list of characters. It can contain vowel, it can contain, consonants, whatever it is. So I want to create a list, and I want to call the list as vowels, where every character x is chosen in such a way, okay, from this mystr, if x in AEIOU. That means what? Only if it matches vowel characters, only that x character will be, sorry, that x character will be chosen and put it in vowels. Now let us see it. Yeah, we see here AE. Yeah, we got everything. In fact, let me do one thing. I'll just consciously I'll put something like this. See, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, I want only, I think I should have only A and E. Let us see that. A and E, that's it. Fine. Suppose if you want only consonants, you can just say X not in A. B, C, D, F, G, H. Fine. So see, a list comprehension can be used for, processing any sequence. When I say any sequence, it can be applied on strings, it can be applied on list, it can be applied on, tuples. Tuples and all we'll be looking at in the next session. So this is how you process. So you see, vowels list, you got it. How? If every x is not in, or if x is in, x in A, look at A and E. Suppose if I A, E, I, O, you'll get O also. Right? So this is how you process list comprehension. List comprehension is quite handy. We'll see more examples in the future videos. Thank you.